I mean, you are aware that the government of the day has placed in Chairman Wontumi, sentenced him to 20 years and with hard labor. And the grounds of the sentencing are based on two things. The first is the assignment of a mineral rights without authorization, and then the other is facilitation of that. There's no mention of his involvement in illegal mining. And so we as a political party consider that this is a clear political imprisonment. We are aware that there are persons in the government of the NDC that are involved in illegal mining. The president himself made mention of that. We haven't seen any thrust of that and commitment to be able to bring those people to book. And so it was important that we bring this attention to the judiciary, and also to bring that attention to Jubilee House. And also in terms of looking at how we have our bail condition. And I think that there are two senior members of the NDC government who have spoken about this. The sitting minister for education and also the sitting minister for interior, who have stated that we should not be using bail conditions as a deterrent. And I think that all of us across this table must begin to have one voice in that regard. I mean, because not just that tables will turn, but you need a vibrant opposition party. And if the tables do turn and the Ghanaian people vote for us on the 7th of December 2028, the new patriotic party is going to come into power. One of the things you want is that you need to strengthen the judiciary, and you need to strengthen all of these bail conditions, because there are things that can affect you later in the future. The fourth was the of course, blazing display of selective justice and political double standards, weaponization of state institution, and constitutional bill violations regarding reintroduction of the tribunal. For many people that have lived through maybe, let me say, First Republic, Second Republic, Third Republic, military regime, and now the Fourth Republic, will tell you that tribunals are things of the past. It's extremely colonial that you would consider that a government of President John Dramani Mahama, with all the experience that he has had over his political journey and public life, would want to look into something like this. Extremely colonial. And it was important that we bring that to his attention. And a few other things that we felt was very important that the government gets to hear. But I must tell you that yesterday was a very, very, very important day for our political party. We had large numbers of people, and this is just Greater Accra. Large numbers of people. At the stage when we got to Afrikiko, there was a large team from Afrikiko all the way to MTN. That was how big the crowd was. And let me send our deepest appreciation and support to the rank and file of the party, to let them know that the leadership of the party greatly appreciates their turnout. It clearly tells you that the new patriotic party is ready to govern this country from 2029 under the leadership of Alhaji.
Is that synonymous? There are those who say that yesterday
our party is robust, is strong, is not collapsing as the government has proposed or even intended to do. We have stood the test of time since the Third Republic, and we have always reformed, and we are gathering. Just wait for us till we are done with our national elections, and then you see how we'll be able to continually keep this government accountable and put them on their toes.
There are those who say that if anybody is to make a case that democracy is under attack, it certainly must not be the NPP, because they saw governance under you roughly 2 years ago. Journalist Manasseh Azuri-Awini has recounted his own challenges with respect to press freedom index dropping to record lows, journalists having to flee amongst other things, and open disregard for dissent amongst other things. In fact, the point of end for the protesters yesterday, the Jubilee House, was a no-go area for demonstrators anywhere at all under the NPP. And so if you're able to even do that and end up there, not once, but twice already, then the NPP should not be saying democracy is under attack.
But you know what I'll say to that? I'll say that democracy is not static, okay? Power has a way of blinding you. Okay, real power has a way of blinding you, and absolutely,
just admit that.
Absolutely corrupting you. Okay,
no.
And so for us as a political party, and for where we find ourselves, it's important that if the moral fabric of our democracy, as we observe it, okay, is being trampled upon, it's important that we bring that to the attention of the government. Because you see, one of the things that we fear of losing is the serenity and the peace that we have in this country. And I mean, Mawina, I'm just going to be wrapping up on that, because I think it's important that I pay homage to our 8 compatriots who lost their lives. Very.
It's actually one of the many things we'll come to.
Okay, sure, that's fine. So for me, I think that if we are able to demonstrate, which we have done in a very civil manner with no incident whatsoever, I think that's extremely commendable. Okay, that if we feel that the rights of people is being trampled upon, if we feel that people are being arrested indiscriminately, if we feel that people reshare posts, people share posts, people do TikTok. Of course, I don't endorse any misbehavior whatsoever on TikTok, and I've called out other persons that have sought to disrespect other people. But you see, Mawina, we've gradually built a culture in this country where there is a lack of value system. Okay, and I'm happy that the sitting president is calling very strongly for a value-driven society. I recall very well, and I made a post about it. Mawina, you can search it, when the sitting president called my lineage, okay, as persons of Sakawa. I usually don't like to go back into the past, but you can imagine, okay, when the sitting president made that statement to the Catholic bishops that have visited him, that no senior person made a comment about that. Okay, so for me, I think that we need to censor our environment. We need a clear, purpose-driven, value-driven society. And these are the things and the proponents that Dr. J.B. Dankwa spoke about very clearly when he spoke about the Ghanaism. We are clearly losing that. We are losing our humanity. We are losing our behavioral tenets that guides us and builds us up. So I'm glad that the sitting president is looking into that. One of my greatest disappointments as well is that I thought that at the rising of parliament, they were going to pass the LGBTQI.
It was brought back. Some corrections were made, and
I'm just bringing it in because, you see, this bill should have been long passed, because it all talks about our value systems, okay? And value is one of the things that is very, very dear to my heart. But we can never develop this country if we lose out on our value system. If we have strong values, corruption will be a thing of the past, okay? If we uphold strong values and tenets, okay, we'll be able to build a very comfortable society and a very wealthy society where both of us can coexist in harmony. So for me, yesterday was the best day. The demonstration went very well. We're reenacting another demonstration in Ashanti region and in the northern region. We have a vigil on the 14th of this month, a vigil for Chairman Wontumi in Ashanti region.
On the 13th?
14th of this month, we have a vigil, and then afterwards we continue our demonstration and conversations in the northern region. I don't know if you want me to go into the demise. Let me just touch on it.
It's part of the topics for conversation. So let me come to Mr. Kotin now, right? The argument by the NPP is that democracy is under attack. That's what Palgrave says, and that's one of the many arguments he's put forth. You're a citizen of Ghana. Do you feel that democracy is under attack?
Mawina, let me throw this question back to you. You are an independent adjudicator. Is our democracy under attack? Yes or no? I just want to know your opinion.
I'm here to ask the question.
Because you are a media person,
not answer the question.
I'll be your counsel today, though I'm not a lawyer. You can't answer.
You understand?
3FM
I felt so scandalized as a Ghanaian yesterday. In fact, the people who were on the street yesterday are the enemies of Dr. Bawumia. To put it plainly, they just simply don't want Bawumia to win the next elections. Among all the days, okay, that we are commemorating the death of 8 Ghanaians who sacrificed their lives through not any fault of theirs, serving this country. If these gallant men were NPP members or government officials in NPP, is the NPP saying that they would have demonstrated yesterday? You know me. There are certain things I don't even want to go there at all. It made no sense. And I asked myself yesterday, is it the party of your own grandfather, right? J.B. Dankwa. You think if J.B. Dankwa was alive today, he would have sat there and allowed the demonstration that went on yesterday? Your grandfather would be very disappointed in you, Dr. Pargrave. Your grandfather.
He would have done 3 days.
Your grandfather would have been be very disappointed, honestly. Look, Dr. Pargrave, yesterday, what I saw was national executives who took Dr. Bawumia to 38% in an election, wanting to remain in power. When are you having your elections? They are doing regional elections around the corner and national elections around the corner. There's always a saying that you maintain the winning team. But in the face of NPP, you want to maintain a failing team. So how do you win power? How are you ever going to win power? Look, I am going to put it mildly. You people, you are the enemies of Dr. Bawumia. You don't want Dr. Bawumia to win power.
Who are you?
Those who demonstrated yesterday. Honestly, when I heard about the demonstration, I thought it was some youth who are trying to exhibit some form of premature ejaculation. But when I saw the former majority leader, the former defense minister, the national executives, my good friend Samia Oku, look, a very natural talent. This guy is a big talent, not only for NPP, but for the country. But you people, by your actions and inactions, you are destroying natural talents within the party that otherwise could have been useful for this country tomorrow. Look, yesterday, the people that stood out for me and will earn my respect any day was Abina Sari and then Hakma Usu Ajman. They never represented. They didn't go there on the author of representing the party. I was on a show yesterday on TV3 with one of your communicators who indicated that as of the night before, they hadn't received any formal invitation from the government. A national activity like this, you are waiting for an invitation. A national activity like this, when the incident happened, was Dr. Bawumia invited before he came to the event? Was he invited? Look, let's call a spade a spade. You said democracy is under attack. That you were able to demonstrate yesterday freely. I saw many of the leaders of NPP dancing on the street. Indeed, democracy is under attack. You could demonstrate freely, dance on the street, without any harassment. What are we talking about? Look, let's credit this, our democracy, some form of seriousness. I heard Afenyo Makin say that it is the process of winning power. So were you demonstrating or you were campaigning? And then when they go to the Flagstaff House, the president in his magnanimity decided that a senior staffer should come and receive the petition on his behalf. Look at the attack Afenyo Makin rained on the poor woman, claiming that she was not deserving and her presence amount disrespect to the party. Are you not attacking women empowerment? So by that statement alone yesterday, you had attacked all the women in this country. Look at the parity between men in position and women in position. Given this attack, unwarranted attack on this poor woman, do you think other women will be emboldened to put themselves for such positions? Look, you made an initial statement. I was so happy, right? You said you filed
an appeal,
a bill pending appeal, which will be heard this month. Is that democracy under attack? You see, you want to approbate and reprobate. In one breath, you want Chairman Wuntumi's bail case to be heard. In another breath, your lawyers, Atachi and Co are saying they will not go by the directive by the Chief Justice that prosecution and criminal cases that are under trial should go on, so they will not attend. Dr. Pargrave, look, your boss Chairman Wuntumi, his biggest mistake was to bring Atachi as his lawyer. Atachi abandoned him when went for the daughter's graduation when they were sentencing your boss. Is that not the case? Now you say you will not attend. One of the inherent right for any person standing trial is speedy trial. Because once you are under criminal investigation and trial, you are denied certain liberties. You cannot do so many things. So I want to appeal to my big brother, Dr. Bawumia. Hanan and Co are big players around him. He should be interested in speedy trial so that when they are cleared, then they can come and support his campaign team. But the theater we witnessed yesterday, in the name of demonstration
democracy and attack.
Democracy and attack, you people are seriously the enemies of Dr. Bawumia. You talk of political imprisonment. Your boss, Dr. Bawumia, Chairman Wuntumi, the grounds for appeal, was there anything that your lawyers indicated that he was in prison because of politics? And for that matter, you are coming on that grounds. When you presented your petition to the Chief Justice, the representative who received the petition, did you hear what he said? Go and digest that very well. He said you can do your politics, but they are an independent what? Institution. You've forgotten, Afenyo Markins. Was it not a Saturday he was able to get a sitting going on?
It was a Friday.
A Friday, yes? Have you forgotten Chachi Kwesin going to court every day as a member of parliament? Manasa Azuri had to run out of this country. At that time, democracy was not under attack. Look, some of us cannot defend this. I don't think that democracy is under attack. And it was a no. Yesterday was not a demonstration, it was a campaign. Nana B and his team just want to remain in power. And I feel so sad for the youth of this country. You are sacrificing your future fighting for politicians instead of fighting for Ghana. The politicians who were there, Afenyo Markins and Co, Oseche Mensah and Co, they have grown up children. How many of their children were there? You go and use poor men children, your policies have failed to upgrade them. And you put them in perpetual poverty. So that when you need them to come and shout your way, you put buses and bring them. Look at the buses that came across the region. You say it was only Accra only. That is the biggest insincerity I have ever heard from you. We have been friends. I know that you call it as it is. But if you sit here and say that it was only Accra, the buses that came, I saw people from Tamale. I'm from Tamale. I saw a lot of them. I saw buses from Tamale. So if the whole Ghana, this is what NPP could mobilize. In fact, I think that Ghana democracy is rather in decline by your own actions. Because we need a serious and a vibrant opposition party. Otherwise, NDC will take us for a ride. Already they have a super majority. And you have reduced serious issues. Okay? I see we are doing student politics, for Christ's sake. It must be stated here that any NDC member will vote for NDC, whether it rain or shine. Any MPP member will vote for MPP, whether rain or shine. The deciders are the floating voters. And they are the people who can read in between the line. The age of politics where you use propaganda, it is over.
Right.
So NDC must change course. MPP must change course. And let us have a contest of ideas. Look, NDC in the past, used not to have people. You go on platform, they don't even have communicators who can actually articulate policy and ideas. It's the reverse in NPP today. You monitor the airwaves and see the quality of communication from both parties. You talk on LGBTQ that Parliament rose and didn't pass it. For real, Dr. Palgrave, when your own government had a golden opportunity to pass it, your president said he won't receive it. What are we talking about?
But it was a subject matter of a legal challenge. But thank you. That's Emmanuel Kotin. I'm going to come to Doc now. Doc, I will have you use this one so that Solomon also has joined us.
Solo has come with a lot of documents.
Yes.
Let me give it to him. So also has joined us. NPP letterhead. Are you still with them?
No.
Okay.
But when you have my brother Guti charge a little boy like that, what happened?
No, so you see, my fidelity is to Ghana.
Absolutely.
What is happening, if it's black, it's black.
What I wanted him to say is what he
You know where I belong to. You know where I belong to, heart of heart, you know. But when it's wrong, it's wrong. I cannot comprehend and follow some of these things.
This is the true Kuti.
Other times, though, it wasn't a true Kuti.
I will make sure that he's always Kuti.
Let me come.
Marry my sister. So I will not, on the altar of anything, allow him to deviate. No.
Let me come to Doc. Doc, your government is what is coming under criticism by the NPP. In fact, a bit more in terms of why they are making that argument is that the Fourth Estate, in capturing a number of arrests which have been made free speech related, says there's been more arrests made in the last 18 months than was made in the entirety of the last 4 years put together. And that is one of the fulcrums they are making their argument on, to say that democracy is under attack. How does the NDC respond to the concerns that democracy is coming under attack across the many arguments they put forth yesterday?
Thank you. I think arrest is not based on the government, the party that is in power. It is based on the infractions, crimes that has been committed. If under NPP there weren't suspicions for arrest of people, nothing will happen. If under NPP there wasn't abuse of freedom of speech, no people wouldn't be arrested like now. But for now, most of the arrests are related to corruption allegations, misappropriations of public funds, and then the rest. So the few that are regards to social media and the rest are just tangential and nothing to write home about. But let me go to the title of their demonstration, and I could feel for my brother sitting on my left. Palgrave, I was very a little bit shocked because I know his stance. He says it's as it is.
Everybody says
yes.
Palgrave.
Yes.
So what, are you suggesting he was forced to be at the protest yesterday?
You see, I've said it that he is the opposite of the one he's speaking for. Vast difference, as if he's come to neutralize the issues of Wontumi, because he's a gentleman. He speaks facts. But he's trying, they are putting him at a corner that is very difficult. It may taint his image. I will advise him to continue with his positive views, nationalistic expressions, and then call for a moral change like he's doing in Ghana. Because if you will really look at the demonstration, many have said it, and it is worth repeating it. This demonstration was just like a marketing tool for people to contest elections. And nothing but people trying to market themselves for people to see them and retain them. And my brother Kotin just said it. Look, you maintain a winning team. You don't maintain a losing team. If they said democracy is under attack, how do we get a democracy? How is democracy experimented? One, you develop a constitution, is that not it? Then after that, you take it to a referendum, people come to vote to approve it, and when it's approved, you conduct elections to elect people to run the country. That is what we all see as democracy. Ghana, in 2020, we went for an election, which is part of the process of exhibiting that we are in a democracy. 8 people died just to ensure that we elect a new president. 8 people died to exhibit their right to select somebody to become a president.
92.7.
The president was selected, and nothing has been done about these 8 people who went to queue to observe elections for election to be counted and results declared. 8 people died. Was this a threat to democracy or not?
That was Techiman South also.
Was this a threat to democracy or not? That election day, you kill people, intimidate people for election results to turn otherwise to favor some people. Was this not a threat to democracy? Put that aside, 8 people. We had 8 people who were working to ensure that this country is safe from what? Contamination of the environment that will lead to the death of people, malformation in birth, in giving birth to people, and various diseases that would destroy the population of this country. 3 of them are politicians. Omane Buama, who led all cameras on to ensure that JM came to power. He's a politician. Alhaji Muniru, National Security, he's a politician. Mutala, he's a politician. But we had 3 people there who put their lives down, whichever party is in power, to save this country. They died to save this country. I don't think in America, if they are commemorating the heroes of America, an opposition party would have the guts to organize a demonstration against democracy. I don't think. And that is the country we are all emulating. They didn't even honor these people who, in their course of duty to save Ghana, to protect Ghana, died for the country. They organized a demonstration that day to overlap, to let the anniversary be a little bit, let me see, not give it importance. And above all, what is more insulting to the democracy is that the president who selected somebody to leave the commemorative anniversary and come and receive their petition, they entered freely into the Flagstaff House that no one could enter to demonstrate. They entered freely and expressed themselves freely. And on top of it, insulted the person that the president selected. Because the president is the one we all chose to lead the country and deserves respect. Whoever he selects to represent him to receive a petition, you must respect that person.
Yeah.
You came and insulted this lady and walked back freely. Is democracy under threat? Is democracy under threat? You are rather threatening democracy. You see, arresting people for alleged crimes, for alleged corruption, is in our constitution. That is how accountability, if we exercise accountability, that is what will strengthen our democracy. Another clear example of NPP being hypocrites in the sense that they are fighting for democracy is SAL. You remember SAL?
Central Kofi Akpafo Lolobi.
They had no representation.
They didn't have a representation in Parliament. Chachu took the case even to the Supreme Court, but for whatever, they kicked it out and said they won't have a representation in Parliament. Did NPP organize a demonstration to say democracy was under threat? They never did it. I've just cited 3 examples to demonstrate to you how hypocrites they are, how their demonstration was really not for democracy, but for people to market themselves.
3FM,
people to market themselves for the next position. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy as an NDC member that these people would win to become leaders of their party for the next campaign, for the next elections coming. Because we know how they can campaign, we know what to do to them, and we know how to win them because we know their weak points. But I'm sad for my brother. Like my brother Kotin said, I'm sad for my brother Bawumia. That he sits down and look at these people. When a party loses elections, you look at personalities that you can bring in to appeal to the public. You look for people that you can bring in to appeal to the public, to appeal especially to the floating voters, that look, we are coming with a change. We are coming with something new. We are coming with new faces so that people will sympathize with you and get some votes for you. But if you are coming back with the same people who are defending people who have been alleged to be very corrupt, they go as far as sitting in the middle of a road to protest for somebody to be released from cells, and at the end the person goes back to be begging for clemency and for reduction and the sentencing. You are bringing those people back to lead you to come for a campaign. Afenyo Makin, who insulted this lady, was sitting on the floor in front of Iyoko. Today, I'm hearing that they are organizing a vigil for Bawumia in Kumasi.
For Wontumi.
I beg them. They should distinguish the three cases they are facing and tell us which of the three cases that they are going to do a vigil for. One is about the Galamsey issue. One is about Exim Bank. One is about there are three issues that he is facing. So they should tell Ghanaians which of them are they doing vigil for.
3FM.
Because you see, they are very smart. They want to lump all and say all the three issues that he's standing, he's not guilty. You see, don't think that the people in Kumasi are naive. I have friends from Kumasi. I have friends living there, and I'm telling you, NPP is losing it because of the attitude of your leaders. They jump into conclusions that they shouldn't jump into. But why is the government arresting people? The government is arresting people because they are alleged to have conducted themselves untoward during their stewardship of the various places they headed. And this was given to us, and we were informed first of all by the same MP people that their party people are looting as if there's no tomorrow. Do you remember that? Kennedy Ajapong said it, that their party members in government were looting as if there is no tomorrow. If you are a government in power today and you have heard all these allegations and there are signs that people actually looted, does the law allow you to call them to investigate or not? Yes, the law does. Is this witch hunting? Is this what we call democracy under threat? Example, the first case, I'll use an example, SkyTrain, $2 million invested in something that never happened. So you want us to allow that case not to be investigated? Is this threat to democracy? This is not threat to democracy. This is enforcement of what we call accountability, right, which is the bedrock of democracy. Number two, you had what we call Wuntumi's own case in Exim Bank. If we hadn't arrested Wuntumi and taken him to Iyoko, will we get him to be pleading to return the money? Will we get him to be pleading to return the money? We wouldn't get him to plead to return the money. This is not democracy under threat. Ajimamenu went and bought vaccines that never existed and even inflated the price. When the whole world was buying it at $10, he was buying it at $19. And without any due records and without any serious investigations, the finance minister authorized the payment. The finance minister at large today authorized the payment without even seeing documentation for it, without seeing the vaccines. He authorized payment for it. At the end, this case was sent to Parliament. It was looked at. It was handled in a way that all of us didn't like, because you can't pay for something that doesn't exist, and you can't even overprice it when you didn't even see it. So to me, this was pure corruption, right, and this was pure stealing. There are numerous examples I can cite, reasons why people have been arrested. But when it comes to this, they say some people are treated differently. You had 8 good years, to deal with all the NDC people you allege they had committed crimes. You couldn't get them prosecuted. What we saw was that you were coaching witnesses to incriminate other people. This shows that you had an ill motive. You were rather chasing people forcefully to put them in jail without any good evidence. Right. And it was demonstrated because Japa exposed them.
Fair enough.
So no one should say that some people have been handled like with kid gloves and some are being handled in a different way. It is neither here nor there. The truth is that the Attorney General did a poor work by presenting most of his cases to the courts, and that was demonstrated in the last case reviewed by the appeals court, that the processes that he went through to get said in arm were wrongfully done, had no substance, and he shouldn't have presented the charges in that way.
Right, Doc. I appreciate you as well. Let me bring in Solomon now. Right, Solomon, who is the director of communications for the United Party, he will join. He'll come in now as well. Democracy under attack. And today you have a lot of
over from Kukuba.
With the document.
If you look at the documents Solo is handling, Solo, you need to get a PO because these documents are too heavy for you. You see, you're back.
If you go for PA, but come in for me on democracy under attack.
I mean, let me greet my brothers in studio, Kotin, Pargrives, Doc, and then yourself and all our cherished listeners across the world. Your station, people listen to it a lot. And so we are grateful to those that are listening. As a matter of fact, I don't think Padres even believes in the very demonstration that he undertook. I don't think from the heart of heart that he really believed in what they did yesterday. It was a total waste of everybody's time. It was a total waste of resources, but yes, total waste of resources to many, but few also profited. Remember those that organized this demonstration, Nanabi and Co. Nanabi is fighting to be the second vice chair of the party. He needs money to campaign. And that is how you survive in opposition. If you want to have resources, always flimsy excuse demonstration. Because
these are men who have business.
I am coming there. Who has business anyway?
Nanabi is putting up a health facility in his constituency.
He has to be investigated. These are some of the matters. Nanabi before, Nanabi then you go in. Lifestyle audit, as simple as that. But let me say, on authority, that this whole demonstration, when they went to the meeting to discuss about this whole demonstration, they deferred the meeting to the flag bearer to make a determination within 4 weeks as to whether or not there was a need to go for this demonstration. Only for few people after a whole group taking a decision to go and convince the flag bearer that, look, we have to.
How do you know this?
Oh, you know, I came from
You came from the stock.
If I disclose the source right now to you, but the person will be in trouble. Off air, I can tell you so that I come and broadcast it. But I will not put him. But the person took part in the decision. And the person was so disappointed in the flag bearer that he's so weak that they initially agreed that they have to give themselves 3 weeks for a broader consultation. And then the flag bearer said, no, let's make it 4 weeks. 2 days after, then there was that announcement. Without the same group congregating to even amend their own earlier decision. Because clearly from where anybody sat, there was nothing in terms of the national democracy that we are practicing. By the way, democracy has two parts. There is the internal democracy and there is the national or the aggregate democracy. I strongly believe if they have said that their internal democracy was under attack, and for that reason they were demonstrating, I would have even joined them. Well, clearly their internal democracy.
If their internal democracy were under attack.
No, it is under attack. That one is a fact. And I will prove to you why.
How? Okay, you say you're going to prove that.
Let's take Saboba.
And it happened.
You go to Saboba, someone hijacks an album and puts his own men and women in there and his own hymns and caprices against their own party's constitution that there will be a polling station election.
3FM.
Is the democracy not under attack?
2.7.
Look, recently, yesterday I was reading it somewhere. Let me repeat it here. The party itself, through their National Steering Committee, issued a statement declaring that 2 constituencies will not take part in their constituency elections. That is Efija Sector East and Asante Achim Central, where your former colleague, Afrifa, Okatachi Afrifa, why did Okatachi incur that injury? Why was he shot in the head?
Was he shot in
Yeah,
the
he was
head?
shot.
I don't know. I don't know the details of the
No,
attack,
he claims he was shot, but you could see the hole. I mean, when you see the videos, if you don't take it, you can't eat. Okatache said there was the party itself, the National Steering Committee, on the 6th of July had decreed or has said, it's here. I'll read it. You can read it for your listeners too.
The man with the evidence.
You understand? This is evidence-based. We are talking about democracy. The party is saying that the democracy is not under attack. Kindly read it for your listeners. After that, maybe I'll give you another one on my phone.
So just simply, right, in summation,
yes.
The steering committee agreed that there will be no elections at Ifija Secretary East and Asante Achim Central because there had been court processes.
Exactly.
Which had been filed.
Exactly.
Accordingly, the steering committee hereby directs that with immediate effect all activities relating to the conduct of constituency executive elections in the Ifija Secretary East and Asante Achim Central be suspended until further notice in compliance with the orders of the respective courts. That's what it says.
So after that was how come Okatache got injured, because he was trying to prevent the elections taking place. Now you go to Asante Achim. Against this directive, they still went ahead to conduct the election. And at the end of the day, the National Executive itself, the steering committee, that has said that no election must go on, absorbed those elections, upheld those elections, and now it stands. You call this democracy? Go to all the 276 constituencies, confusion everywhere. People smuggling their preferred individuals into the albums, creating confusion. Well, you know, here when we discussed Bantama, the chairman and what's the name, the MP Asenso are at each other's throats. That is what they are talking about. A party that has monetized our electoral process to the extent that before your face come on a ballot to want to be their flag bearer, you must call 46 billion OCDs. 4.6 million. Is that how you practice democracy? Is that how you practice it? So if they had come to tell us that they were fighting, the demonstration was against their own internal arrangements, I would have beautifully joined them. But the reasons they cited here is so laughable. Let's go into it one after the other. I have their petition here. I have printed it once again. Now they say that, let me read the portion that you can't stop laughing. These people. Ghana's decade-long reputation as a beacon of constitutional democracy, public accountability, peace, and political stability on the African continent is being aggressively dismantled under your administration. Listen to this portion, what we are currently witnessing is not ordinary governance. These people say what currently is happening is not ordinary governance, but a systemic breakdown of constitutional checks. Yes, it is not ordinary governance, because we have been doing the same thing over and over again, and we are getting the same results. What has been the results? Poverty all over. Poverty all over. Because what we do, and this is why the United Party has taken, we sat back, we realized that this is what the problem is. What is Ghana's problem? When elections are over and the ruling party leaves office, immediately we shift the focus from those that left and put the spotlight on those that are governing. So they easily go away with their booty. That is what has been happening to this country.
It's a point you've made consistently.
And we said, no, we need to depart. Let's put the spotlight on those that left. The effect of that will even advise those that are in government. And that is what precisely we are doing. And look at the amount of monies that are being flowing around as people have been taken. And if indeed these are true, then you must be worried as a country. So if a country decides to go after those that have illegally taken our money, and you go on the street demonstrating as a political party, how would you go back to the people of this country in 2028 and go and campaign against corruption? Haven't you campaigned against yourself? Now listen to another part. People went there and did their own bidding. And here I believe that it was written by Atachia and Godfrey David. Listen to the first grounds for petition: interference with judicial independence and subversion of the due process. The independence of the judiciary, the final shield of the citizen against state overreach and executive tyranny, has been severely compromised. Listen to this part. Following the unlawful removal of the Chief Justice, her leadership Justice Gertrude Araba Sakitokonu, an atmosphere of pervasive fear has been established. Listen, you ask yourself, was Tokonu illegally removed? Was she illegally removed from a seat? She even went to ECOWAS, so I'm expecting them that beyond this demonstration, if indeed democracy is being attacked, then it's being attacked at the sub-regional level. So they must be in Abuja and go and demonstrate.
Even the regional court threw her out.
Out. So how can you, on the basis of this, and remember, in May of last year, did they not embark on judicial demonstration? Was it not about Tokonu?
Yes, that's what it was.
And you come back after the Supreme Court dismissing all her appeals and the ECOWAS court dismissing it, you still go back onto the street and demonstrate. Is it not lawlessness? Is it not a party that has lost focus? Now listen to another part. That one will freak you. That's why I realized that no, they were doing kifit. Listen. Furthermore, arbitrary administrative directives that attempt to deprive defense lawyers. Listen, defense lawyers of their statutory legal vacations threaten the fundamental right to legal representation. Abba.
Meanwhile, they are in court for whom to
Kotin. It's the 9th of August, not a legal period. Why is the MPP filing an appeal to get who to be out? Yet the lawyers, and you see what even annoys me is that the lawyers, you are not doing these cases pro bono. You take money for your engagement. In any case, when a person goes to court, the case is not for the lawyer. It is for you that has been accused. So if you think that you cannot handle the case, you leave it. It's the reason why nowadays we are training more than 900 lawyers every year. Somebody will take over. So because of your vacation, the court must not go on. And if you indeed believe, this even tells me, because I heard a teacher say, and if I were the person standing at trial, I'd be worried. Say you want to fast track it so that you jail our people. I say, you, the lawyer that must be giving the confidence to your client, this is what you are saying. You are demonstrating that because the court or the state wants expedited trial so that if your client is innocent, he could be freed early. He said, no. It must still hang around my client. Let me go and chill in the UK. The last time he told Wood to be that, he was going for the daughter's...
But he has the rights to be at his daughter's.
No, but he was there when the date was set. When Wood to be... in fact, he was in court. Yeah. He could have told the court that, my lady, this day I will not be around. And that would be on record.
In fact,
sat down...
If I am the client, I'll change these lawyers. They'll just go and be doing me lord.
Me lord, there you are in some... Me lord. You understand?
So to wrap up.
And so in wrapping up, clearly the NPP did not serve itself very well. And to climax everything was how they disrespected my sister, Nanaya Jantua. Total disrespect. Because see, if you read their petition, what is written here? Submitted to the office of the president. Office of the president.
Right.
That was the intent. When we say office of the president, what makes up the office of the president? Anybody that is working at the office of the president has the right to take a petition, especially when the person has been delegated by the president. That was a direct attack on the president. Yes, they were. In fact, if Afenyo thought he was insulting Anaya Jantua, he was, as a matter of fact, insulting the president of the land. He was disrespecting him. By the way, the people of Winneba, where he is the MP, is Afenyo telling us that he's the most sensible person from Winneba, but yet they have delegated you to represent them in Parliament. So because of that, because you are not the most intelligent person, when I see you, Afenyo, in Parliament, must I disrespect you? I have to consider the people of Efutu as those that you are representing, including the chiefs, the pastors, and everybody there, and accord the respect that I would have given to all the people over there. Not to come and throw your weight above as if you are somebody. You are nobody.
Right.
You are nobody.
Right. That's Solomon Owusu. I'm going to give a right of response to Palgrave because everybody has been questioning. I'll come to you.
You are putting my good friend on the spot. Yeah, it's a difficult situation.
Allow Mawunya to moderate.
Because of the many things that have been said.
They sent
of the many things that have been said.
This block is our consistent.
It's a suggestion that Palgrave is being diluted. That's an assertion by your colleagues. They say you are being diluted. And you don't believe in the.
He was just forced to be there.
So there's another issue that is coming out. The after party, how they are sharing the money. That is the next issue. You hear the slaps. Because somebody wants to beat somebody over there.
Over money.
Somebody
I also heard some intel. Yes. So I'm waiting.
So, Palgrave, coming from me on the concerns that have been raised by the other panel members, even against your person as well, that you did not believe in the protest yesterday, even as you were part of it.
Mawunya, that's inaccurate. I mean, I'm a true-blooded blue member of the New Patriotic Party.
That is different.
It's your grandfather's.
Please allow me.
We know that.
Please
But did you believe in what happened yesterday?
That is you yourself, you are in court appealing against, appealing for bail. And one of the reasons why you are on the street is that people are being granted bail.
Please allow me.
And you want bail.
Allow me.
Please allow him. Please allow him.
I'm being hijacked this morning.
Yes, but
We'll keep quiet.
My right to speak.
Another demonstration.
My right to speak.
You will see another demonstration.
My right to speak.
Attack on my right to speak. Another demonstration is coming.
I mean, Mawunya, I think that, to be fair, I'm a member of the New Patriotic Party. Very blue-blooded. When you cut me, you would find the New Patriotic Party, which cannot be discounted at all. I recall moments in our home when our great-grandfather, Dr. J.B. Dankwa, Paul Grant, Edward Ekufuado, Nana Dankwa Ekufuado himself, Gabi Atredakun, I mean, all of the rank and file, Lawyer Atachia. I mean, we as a family are poised for public service. And also, as a value-driven family, one of the things that we continually heard was that at the time when our great-grandfather, my great-grandfather, and maybe Nana Dankwa Ekufuado's grandfather, Nana Soforiata, who was knighted by the British Empire, died, all of what he had in his account was £50, which clearly demonstrated his acts of public service. And so for my participation in a civil and constitutionally mandated demonstration, I think that it's in my right to do that. I do believe that there are some excesses in government which needs to be addressed, and I'm sure that my dear brothers here, in the very closeness of their solitude of their hearts, would agree that there are some excesses. Of course, there are times that you may be the president of the Republic of Ghana. You might be blinded, like I stated earlier on, that power can blind you. You can be blinded. There are times that people that you have given responsibilities to, who are manning various state agencies, can wield certain powers that you have not credited to them. And so if we find those excesses, okay, and we believe that they are triggers of those that can cause disturbances in relation to some of the pillars of the democracy that we have held on over the years, I think it's important that we bring that out. And I enjoyed yesterday's peaceful demonstration. Whenever there's an opportunity,
peaceful.
Whenever.
That's why it was peaceful.
No, you see, when we talk about democracy being under attack, right? There are soft powers that we are dealing with. Okay, look at it. Like I said, power can blind you.
Right.
And I mean, the fact that it might have happened in a previous government does not mean that if it's happening in this government, you should not talk about it. Of course, in the previous government, if it did happen, there were the opposition party, which is the NDC, who spoke about it. And so if it's happening under the very eyes of the people who spoke about it, it's important that we bring that notice to it. And I did believe in the demonstration. I'm glad that the petition has been sent. My big sister, Nanaya Jantua, has admonished us that the president himself is going to receive it. And I think that with the greatest of regard and respect to her, the president would attend to issues that have been raised in the petition.
All right.
My final word on this one, Maureen, is that, you see, that's why we talk about building institutions. When you are in government, the institution you leave behind will take care of you when you leave office. And that is what is playing out precisely. I just want to advise the NPP to kindly go and look at social media comments and ask themselves whether the demonstration they did yesterday did them harm or it brought sympathy in the eyes of Ghanaians
3FM
to give them any political mileage. Second, you see, we must decipher free speech from responsible speech. Free speech comes with what? Some level of responsibility. If my daughter or son to call me the father, I'm stupid, you think I will leave the child to go free? Then I'm an irresponsible father. Then you see a social media TikToker calling the sitting president, say with Jimmy. It's not John Mahama he has insulted, though. The people of Ghana who voted him. John is just an individual, but the respect is given to the seat he occupies.
Yesterday happened, they were calling Mujani.
And then, when these people are brought to book, we say we are arresting TikTokers. And guess what? Bawumia, they arrested. Do you know she has not got a Ghana card? She has not got Ghana card. So how did she even register her SIM card to have a social media this thing to do this? Her luck is that I think medically it's been found she's pregnant. And she will be spared jail. I think this exemplars needs to be said clearly. You see, I heard Afenyo Makin say something that is so troubling, that they will reinstate the former Chief Justice when they come to power. My brother, and others are saying that when the tables turn, are you sure Ghanaians will vote on the altar of NPP coming to power to give vengeance? If that's the only message you have for this, for Ghanaians, I'm afraid the party is in decline. And the truth ought to be said. NPP needs serious rescuing.
All right. Doc, also final.
Very quick.
Yes.
And then do you know Adwa Safo?
Yes.
You know
he's a former member of parliament for Dom.
Can you take a look at this picture?
Doc, this picture and the conversation surrounding it, the Speaker of Parliament and told all of Ghanaians that it's dead news. So
no, it's not.
With all due respect. No, I'm coming. With all due respect, I just put it there for a reason. I know Speaker have said what he has said, but I want to tell you, the Parliament House, chamber, is a sacred place for the elected people. That we are the root and we are the fulcrum, the pivot of our democracy.
Yes.
If that place can be violated, can go under threat, even they send soldiers there to discipline MPs. This woman is never an MP, but he was in chamber because his government was in power. Her government was in power. NPP was in charge of the chamber. This woman violated everything and threatened democracy and made them to pass a levy for us to pay what? Let me see. Taxes. To make us pay taxes. We are calling people to come and account for the taxes. And you are saying ours is against democracy. But those who impersonated somebody into the chamber to force us to pay taxes, and for them, they are protectors of democracy. Please, NPP, you are spoiling your image. We want a formidable party to beat its hands down. So I think by the time you joke, you see the yellow people, the butterflies will be leading you.
No, but what is going to happen is that we have already taken over that space. The United Party is the party that the NDC had to contend with in election 2020. As for the NPP, it's gone. It's gone long ago. Yesterday, when I saw the numbers, I realized that even the 18% that have been given to them, they are likely to end up at 15%. Because this was a national demonstration.
No, it was not a national demonstration.
So Poyano is in Accra. There was one across the country, and they were struggling to even mobilize people. I know for a fact, Asafo, they put buses there for people to join. They said, no, we won't go. We are wising up. People, they have to increase the amount of money they gave to the individuals for them to even come. But recently when Miracles went to Yoku, we thought it was a natural support base. What did we hear after? Not knowing the people were even NDC members who turned themselves all of a sudden to be NPP, and they grabbed. The people grabbed. They grabbed. And so, for me, it is something that gladdens the UP's heart that they are fast-tracking their accession from the Ghana's politics. And also to crown it, to also mar a sacred day, a solemn day, a day that we were mourning 8 Ghanaians, former officials of the state. How would the family of Anala take it? That the day that they were mourning their beloved brother, the NPP decided to go on demonstration. How would the wife or the family of Abuaje take it? How would the family of Mahamudu Bawumia take it? How would they see you, the family of Mutala? How would Chuma Mpofo's family see the NPP? How would the Nesmensa's family see the NPP? What about Samuel Sapon's family? It means you have shot yourself in the foot. Remember, you could have had an NPP member within this family, but for what you did, which will be played out forcefully in election 2028, it will come back to haunt the new patriotic party.
Right. 053-220-0927 it's our WhatsApp number. You can send a message to us. Musa Ali Kone from WA says, what do you expect from foot soldiers when those are the top end up recognizes those who can insult best? Do you recall how political mavis was sent to be praised by Dr. Bawumia? Do you recall how Fanti Comedy got an opportunity to have a handshake with Dr. Bawumia? And the list goes on. People are emboldened largely because of the kind of acknowledgement they get from their leaders. This one from Kwame Fa inside Sampa says, sometimes when I see these politicians behave this way, I just get mad because the theme or title of their demonstration is the opposite of the situation in their time. Today they are able to present a petition at the Jubilee House and not the roundabout at the 37 military hospital. Nobody is arrested or attacked and still say democracy is under attack. Kwame asks. There's another one from Joshua Lanyan. Says that NPP, which declared Jubilee House a security zone, is now disrespecting Madam Nanaya. NPP in opposition has demonstrated nothing short of hypocrisy, I believe he wants to say. No democracy in Ghana is under attack. We'll go for this break. When we come, we'll switch lanes and talk the IMF's report as well as the memorial which was held yesterday. The question being asked in relation to that is whether or not lessons have been learned 1 year after. Right, and so quick breaks, we return and then get into those matters as well.
Your time is even up. You are still doing breaks in between.
For Telly Calipo.
2 days, 3 regions. From Accra through Kwao to Kumasi, hundreds of kilometers of rhythm, road and discovery. Hundreds of riders expected, one national journey. This is more than cycling. This is Ghana in motion. 28th and 29th August. To register or participate, call or WhatsApp 0531 100927. Single 200 Ghana cedis. Group of 10 1600 Ghana cedis. Group of 5 800 Ghana cedis. 3FM Tour to Ghana 2026. Ride the rhythm, discover Ghana. Loading. Are you ready? 3FM Tour to Ghana 2026.
Brought to you by You Fresh Juice. For Telly Calipo.
2 days, 3 regions. From Accra through Kwao to Kumasi, hundreds of kilometers of rhythm, road and discovery. Hundreds of riders expected, one national journey. This is more than cycling. This is Ghana in motion. 28th and 29th August. To register or participate, call or WhatsApp 0531 100927. Single 200 Ghana cedis. Group of 10 1600 Ghana cedis. Group of 5 800 Ghana cedis. 3FM Tour to Ghana 2026. Ride the rhythm, discover Ghana. Loading. Are you ready? 3FM Tour to Ghana 2026.
Brought to you by You Fresh Juice. For Telly Calipo.
2 days, 3 regions. From Accra through Kwel to Kumasi, hundreds of kilometers of rhythm, road and discovery. Hundreds of riders expected. One national journey. This is more than cycling. This is Ghana in motion. 28th and 29th August. To register or participate, call or WhatsApp 0531 100927. Single 200 Ghana cedis. Group of 10 1,600 Ghana cedis. Group of 5 800 Ghana cedis. 3FM Tour to Ghana 2026. Ride the rhythm. Discover Ghana. Loading. Are you ready? 3FM Tour to Ghana 2026.
Brought to you by You Fresh Juice. Fratelli Calipo.
2 days, 3 regions. From Accra through Kwel to Kumasi, hundreds of kilometers of rhythm, road and discovery. Hundreds of riders expected. One national journey. This is more than cycling. This is Ghana in motion. 28th and 29th August. To register or participate, call or WhatsApp 0531 100927. Single 200 Ghana cedis. Group of 10 1,600 Ghana cedis. Group of 5 800 Ghana cedis. 3FM Tour to Ghana 2026. Ride the rhythm. Discover Ghana. Loading. Are you ready? 3FM Tour to Ghana 2026.
Brought to you by You Fresh Juice. Fratelli Calipo.
2 days, 3 regions.
The big conversation on 3FM Sunrise.
27 to the top of the hour. We spent a great chunk of the first hour and 30 minutes discussing democracy and attack. We're going to zoom straight into the...
Eric, before you zoom, a small announcement. Myself, together with the Bobakman, Emmanuel Kotin, Apia Dankwa, Usinadoye, and many more, we are going to organize democracy working perfectly in this country demonstration.
We are calling on everybody who said that this.
Yes.
That will be a procession.
No, demonstration. No, demonstration will be an affirmation or we are demonstrating that it is working.
And you see the number of people who come out.
We wanted us to move from...
So we want to test the system whether or not democracy is
working or not.
So that demonstration will come. We will announce further details as we proceed.
3FM 92.7.
No. We want to test it really. We want to put numbers on this.
It's a year on, right? A year on since August 6th. Yesterday, an interdenominational service was held. I saw yourself and a host of others there as well. The big question being asked is whether any lessons really have been learned 1 year on. And we had one of the wives speaking and asking that, look, their death should not be in vain and that the fight against Galamsey must be won in their honor. So I'm going to start with it because our time is we have very short time to discuss this.
So how many minutes do you give to me?
So I'll do 4 minutes, all right, so that we can touch on this, and then we'll do that. So just start for me 4 minutes.
All right. So I mean, like Riley said yesterday, we represented as a United Party. We went to the memorial service. It was a solemn occasion. I mean, listening to the ordeal that the families had gone through the last 1 year, you couldn't help it but to commiserate with them. We wish the departed souls the best of luck. We all join them. We are mortals, so definitely.
Absolutely. One day.
Them. On that occasion, I think the message from Mrs. Abuaji stood out.
Okay.
She captured the imagination and the wishes of the people of this country. That why did they die? That is what must agitate all of us, our minds. They were going to inaugurate cooperative mining or so to deal with the issues of what? Galamsey. The question is, have we made progress in that direction? If we are unable to deal with it, then it means they died in vain. Major Muhammad died. We did not see any improvement. These 8 have died. We are still experiencing Galamsey. And then most of all, I'm happy I'm here with the medical doctor that we have a lot of Ghanaians suffering from kidney-related diseases that emanates or flows from Galamsey. So the issue is that as a government, I was very happy. I was standing right by the Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, who also admitted, I like people who are very candid, that look, we are fighting. We haven't made substantial progress, but the good thing is that there is a political war. We would encourage them to fight, because that is the only way our unborn generation will survive. And that we must not be tired in talking about some of these issues. And that campaigns that are in the equation must be dealt with.
Right.
Fortunately, the country has dealt with the first campaign. I said the last time that Wontumi can peg himself by also snitching on those that he has been doing the business with. So that anytime you bring one, you reduce some from the sentencing. The country can go into such arrangement. Bring one, reduce. Bring one, you will see the magic.
It happens in the US.
You understand? So that that's why we all know that he is not the only kingpin in this business. You get my point? And that once we do that, once again, we will be able to make a headway. The president's decision or promise in the early days that any MMDC that your area will be found to be engaging in Galamsey, you will have issues. The president must activate it. So that if you are an MC, if you are the police commander in a district, on what basis must you continue to be at post when Galamsey is happening in your area?
Right.
Once we do that, I think we will make a headway.
Right. So I'll come to you, Doc, as well, on a year on and whether lessons have been learned.
My sympathy goes to the 8 gallant patriots who passed away exactly 1 year
3FM 92.7.
And I pray that the Almighty God would keep their souls in His bosom. Yeah, 1 year on, I think some work has been done. The government's desire to eliminate Galamsey is still on course. People have been arraigned to go to court. You saw recently when some people tried to misbehave with the military who went to stop them from illegal mining. They shot one of them, their legs, and maimed him. So many people are before court right now. The challenge is really the kingpins who are behind everything.
Right.
We know the reason why many people went to Galamsey is because of the amount they get in a day, and also because there is no really job for them to do. So it will take some time for government and the entire country to eliminate it completely, because we need education, sensitization, and I think the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, what is it? What's the name of this? Where this lady is leading? Environmental.
Professor Brown Kluche.
Yes, they are doing a lot of education around. The Minister for Land and Natural Resources has come out with a policy whereby you can come together and form a cooperative, and they will assist you and teach you how to do good mining. Let's all support this. I'll call on Ghanaians. Let's all support this. Let's all support the fight against the Galamsey, because the number of people who are born with defects is increasing. The number of people suffering from renal failure, especially if you go to Konfanoche, is increasing. My own village, my own constituency, Garu, young boys have gone for Galamsey, come back, they go into renal failure because of the water they drink and then the rest. So I think it is not good. Let's all rally behind the government as patriots. Let's see a demonstration against Galamsey. I'll let the government allow it. Let's see some serious demonstration in our villages against traditional leaders who give us land for Galamsey, against DCUs who give us land for Galamsey. Let's see those demonstrations, at least for us to stop Galamsey completely. I am in support of any form that the government would use to stop Galamsey. Even I will go as far as supporting the one who was a majority deputy Osewutu's shoot and kill. Yeah. I will go for it, shoot and kill. If we do that 2-3 times, I'll tell you it will stop.
In a democracy, I beg to differ.
Now the people are still killing us.
I'll come to you, Mr. Kotin. I'll come to.
When you are done, play me killing me softly.
Yes.
All right. So, Mawena, where my senior brother left. You see, the beauty of democracy is respecting the rights of people. Even suspects remain suspects until proven guilty by courts of competent jurisdiction. So shoot and kill is not something we should even encourage. What I know is that a lot of people have died in the course of duty because of Galamsey, and we are not winning that fight. I'll have this recommendation and an appeal to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He should set the tone such that any MMDC that is accused of involvement in Galamsey, he triggers the process of removing the person and swift investigations. He himself had admitted that indeed these have eaten into our social fabric, and chiefs and politically exposed persons are involved in this menace. Can you imagine that 1 year on, our president have not been able to replace Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia in their respective positions? That should show the personal love and grief he himself feels. So he should not let an occasion like this be about reef laying. It should be about winning the fight against Galamsey at all costs. That's the only way we can serve the memory of these people. Now, if you look at the Fojo report as a security analyst, it was very succinct. The aircrafts were what? Airworthy. There was no any pilot error. There was no any maintenance error. It was what we call downdraft in a very bad weather against a high terrain. In the 2026 budget, if you glance through it, there's a substantial amount of money voted for the retooling. But in the mid-year budget review, when I went through, I never saw an updated version on that. I know that they have procured 6 helis from Airbus.
No, you don't have to review.
What I know is one of the choppers.
I'll tell you where I'm coming from. I'll tell you where I'm coming from. You see, the recommendations were in two folds.
Okay.
Apart from getting the aircraft, and the aircraft has simply the easiest 20%.
Okay.
The hardest 80% is the infrastructure. What was missing that led to the crash. That's why I started by saying that the aircraft was roadworthy, the pilots were properly trained, there were no maintenance issue. It was ill-equipped systems that led to
the communication systems.
The communication systems. So you see that we have purchased the aircraft. One arrived in February.
But it doesn't come with the
in March. No,
3FM,
you know, it's not all our fleets that are equipped with this modern technology, these 4
advanced warning systems and all of that.
But then they should go for the ones with advanced communication.
So what happens to the old ones? The best thing is to put the infrastructure in place. So if you look at what happened, in fact, the weather was the trigger, and ill equipment was the vulnerability. And like I mentioned yesterday, it's safe to say that it was not an act of God. It was just some form of negligence on our part. So the government should do its best. The government should do its best and try and follow through with those recommendations so that we can have those basic equipment on. Because look, the skies are still what they are, you understand? With the new ones, they could undertake that journey today safely, but the old ones cannot do that. And Mawina, it brings to a very fundamental point, and my good friend is here. You are a security practitioner. Security is indeed very expensive.
Very.
You know, we had a debate over a new presidential jet for this country, but political optics will not allow it. You see, when we took our presidential jet for refurbishment. I'll say refurbishment because they strip it. They say it was rusted in some places. And when it came, even the president was even afraid to use it. Are we going to sit down, get another fatality before we vote money to acquire a new presidential jet? So I'm invoking that debate today. You see the loss of these 8 people, even though it's a national loss, the personal loss are the women and the children who have felt the loss of their husbands. So let's put ourselves in their shoes. So the debate of a new presidential jet for this country is unquestionable. Right. And I think it's about time we reactivate it.
Paragraph.
Mawina, very sad day to go into the history of this country. That we lost these wonderful gentlemen. I have very close relations with two of them, Murtala Mohammed. I recall when I came to Ghana in 2018 and began this public advocacy. His party was in opposition, and we used to meet regularly. I mean, on every single week we were meeting, and he was such a big brother, encouraging me and advising me. And may he so rest in peace and rise in glory. And also, Mahamudu Bawumia was our news president. We all come from the same region, so very, very sad moment. My caution to government and maybe to the entire country is to begin to look at policies where we have protocols which relates to how public officials travel. I got very scandalized when I realized that on one single flight, we had a certain Minister for Defense, a certain Minister for Environment, the Deputy National Security Coordinator, of course, Vice Chair of the party. These are not just mean positions these people occupy. And I think that it's about time maybe the government should bring out some directives on how travels are made so that we can protect lives of public officials. We have lost such fine brains who had worked very hard in opposition
92.7
and who have come into governance that one would have wished that they were here to continue their work for Ghana. The second is that, of course, Mr. President Mahama told us in December, which is 4 months after the incident, that we should go on Christmas, eat our chicken, and in January he will give us a substantive Minister for Defense. I am quite saddened that up until now, we don't have a substantive Minister for Defense. I would have wished that at yesterday's meeting, maybe a communique would have come from the presidency. Maybe Felix could have written a statement that the president has nominated these
1 year
persons.
after the event.
Of course, I mean, he's delayed already anyway. That these persons have been appointed subject to parliamentary appointment committee vetting to replace Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and Murtala Mohammed. Of course, we're speaking about illegal mining. We're speaking about the threats of the environment. And if you don't have a substantive minister for environment, science, and technology, where are we going with this fight? And so for me, these are two key things that I would want the government to bring their attention to. One is on protocols, and then two is on these substantive replacements. And finally, we need to take our internal intelligence gathering seriously. I think that if we had gathered a lot more intelligence, maybe peradventure, this could have been prevented. Okay? You see, Mawina,
what are you seeking to suggest with that?
No, you see, Mawina, we cannot, okay, be ignorant of the fact that we are in an oasis of this sub-region with a lot of threats. Okay, every single public official who is in government has a threat that comes for or against them because of the volatility of the sub-region that we find ourselves in. And so if there are means where people can travel by road and it's safe, because you must always gather intelligence. I mean, for me, what happened, I keep thinking about it, and of course, I mean, my big brother has stated that it's a natural incident and all of that, but I think that it's a failure as well, okay, on our level of gathering of intelligence in this country, and we must take that seriously. So I give the government 3 proposals. The first is that the government should come out with very clear laid out guidelines on travels in terms of ranking and how they travel in groups. The second would be that the president should help us with substantive replacement for the various persons that have died. And then the third should be for us to be able to ensure that we have enough robust intelligence around the system. But let me also quickly commend the government for the fund that they have set in place for the children trust fund, 1 million each, which is commendable, and also the 3 million health insurance that they have given.
Right. We're going to just 1 minute each on the gold for reserve program and the losses by the IMF. It's part of the topic, so I have to have us touch on it. Paragraph, start for me, 1 minute each, and then we make progress.
Well, I'm concerned about where Gold Board is having their gold from. I think that we need to be asking that question. We are talking about illegal mining, and I mean, Marina, the truth is that illegal mining really means that people are mining illegally. Can there be a system where we regulate these small-scale miners and gradually move them from a state of not having the requisite documents, to mine, to a stage where they have the requisite documents to mine and to mine responsibly? Okay, because Gold Board is receiving gold. Now, look at the data that is available in relation to the number of legal miners vis-a-vis the number of illegal miners. And let's ask the critical question, where's Gold Board having their money and gold from?
Right. Doc, since he's brought the microphone to you, I'm sure you also have a minute.
I would say let's not mind IMF.
Let's not mind IMF?
Let's not mind them.
Why is that? Because we went to them for a facility.
They keep hitting our heads together, all political parties. And I'll give you simple analysis. The Bank of Ghana is to ensure that our cedi is stable, pricing is stable in Ghana.
But it must be done with
That
balance.
is the work of the Bank of Ghana. Then they have gotten a corporate body, to ensure that it uses gold to stabilize the cedi and stabilize the price in the market. When they were leaving power, NPP was leaving power, the country owed a total of 726 billion. External debt that we have to use cedis to pay was 416 billion. If you multiply that one by the exchange rate at that time, it's 14 cedis, 7 pesos. It will give us that is what will give us the total amount of money we need to pay a debt, an external debt of 28 billion, 416 billion. But when the maneuvers were done through Gold Board and then stabilizing the cedi, improving the economy, the cedi came down to 12. And now Ghana would need only 339 billion to pay the same debt of $28 billion.
But that program has cost us 17 billion cedis.
Let me come. Yes. So if you differentiate what we would have used to pay if the cedi was at 14 and now the cedi is at 12, is 77 billion. And Gold Board trade and Bank of Ghana transactions made us to lose 22 billion. We've made a profit of 55 billion. And our cedi is stable. What was the purpose of the gold for reserve and gold for oil? To stabilize the cedi and make fuel cheap. Was fuel cheap? Fuel was never cheap. Was the cedi stable? It was going up. Gold Board has come under Bank of Ghana. Even though gold for oil and gold for reserve gave us losses of almost 5 billion. This one has given us a loss of 22 billion, but has saved the country 77 billion in paying foreign debt. Which one is better? My friend, don't mind IMF. But they always like creating confusion in our system. I don't trust IMF. Our economists here are doing very well. Bank of Ghana is doing well. Sami Jelfi is doing well. What surprises me is the position of this man, Kofi Bentil. That cedi's ability has so many drivers to discredit Sami Jelfi. The drivers must operate well. If they don't operate well, it won't work. That's why Sami Jelfi is operating well, and it's working. It has got the cedi stable. It has made our foreign debt to be paid with less money. Right. We are going to pay less 77 billion Ghana cedis to pay the same 28 billion. If you do this analysis, you see, we have to look at the collective benefit of the whole thing. Let's not look at one side. It's true. Right. Bank of Ghana lost 22 billion, but Ghana has gained 77 billion. The cedi is stable. Fuel price is better than before. Which is which? Right. Which one do you want?
Doc,
IMF to go to hell.
Mr. Kotin, I'll come to you and then Solo will have the last word on this matter. So
in fact, Marina, The IMF, I am finding it difficult to understand.
You also agree with Dr.
Because
Naba
just some few months ago, when the issue came out, they came out with a communication there were no any losses.
No, they reported there was a $214 million loss, which now
we must investigate IMF activities around the African countries.
Exactly.
They always feel that they can influence policy externally and drive changes
but
the
government go to them.
But let me ask you, the government, after taking over from the NPP, they were in the IMF program, right? They are almost getting out of the IMF program. Is that not the case?
But we have not left. We are asking them for policy credibility with PCI.
But look, let me ask you. Look at the US and the petrodollar. Even last week, US paid how much? $100 billion in this tariff distance to some multinational companies. Remove the petrodollar and trade in our own cities and see what happened to the US economy. They should give us a break.
Right. Fairness.
I am happy that people are beginning to understand the word. When we started saying this,
let me end this. Look, Mawina, what is the duty of the Bank of Ghana?
That's what he said.
Look,
that's what
if
Dr.
Bank of Ghana will incur losses to drive productivity, that is their core mandate. And when there's productivity, that is when you create more jobs. And by extension, more taxes will be accrued. And you make more profit at the end. So what are they talking about? They are behaving like the traditional banks when they see that you are getting out of their fold and they cannot benefit from you. They want to bite you into submission to come back to them.
Right.
The IMF, the World Bank, and all the rating agencies, they are corrupt. Highly corrupt. I'm taking it from you. But you see, our people, they always want to play to the gallery. When they sit with these Caucasians and they are rattling and they say, these people, we have been in classrooms with them. They have no clue. Things that they will not do in India. They come and tell. Always, when you read their report, all their reports, revenue mobilization. Yeah, mobilizing from where? When was the last time IMF came here and said, we are giving you money, let's even invest it
But in fairness, this report they've issued, they are raising potential risks to the Ghanaian economy, that we are over-dependent on gold exports.
Mauna, there is something called cost of sales. Every business you do, there is a cost aspect of it. That is what they have criminally christened it as loss, so that you will run away from a policy that is stabilizing your currency. I'm telling you, if African countries are able to stabilize the economy, IMF will be useless, and by extension, the Bretton Woods institutions will be useless. You know, we have been talking about Standard & Poor, what the other Moody's and Co. They are the tools that they use to suppress Africa. During COVID, people didn't observe. Singapore's economy had recorded a debt to GDP of 104%. Ghana was around 96, yet Ghana was classified as a junk, allowing Singapore to have access to cheap capital, cheap credit. And so we must not, think global, act local.
Right.
As you are thinking globally, act locally to save yourself. When we are eating fufu, we don't eat it with IMF. They should go away. Me, if I become the president of this country, IMF, like they will run 2 weeks. You have been entertaining them. Last time, World Bank brought us money to be using to drain. They say World Bank supervised the disbursement. More than 130 million have been given out. They said 22 million went into training, and you support them.
Yes. Right.
We should not entertain them. Don't mind them. These people,
training to come and drink.
IMF.
Right.
They should let it give us a break.
Thank you.
See how it is.
Thank you.
The people are struggling, so let's go and increase fuel.
Thank you, gentlemen. So those have been these are my guests. As always, this is how it is on a Friday. If you join us here on the 3FM Sunrise, Solomon Owusu is Director of Communications for the United Party.